Hey everyone, welcome to the show. This is the Overland podcast. I'm the Tony with Bats Off Road, and I got special guest Ben with Semper Gumbie this evening. Ben, how are you
Hello.
doing, buddy?
I'm great.
Yeah, you having a good week so far?
I am busy week like everybody else, but we'll cover some of that in a bit. How busy, you
Right,
know.
that's right. Yeah. Speaking of busy, Joey isn't able to be on tonight. He's got is prepping for some sort of dream hiking trip. I don't know. It's out west. He's leaving tomorrow. I don't know.
Yeah.
Too much hiking for my taste, but whatever. No, all jokes aside, I love it. It's fine. So,
Yeah.
all righty. Let's roll the intro here real quick. So, how long has it been since we saw you? Like about a month?
Jasper Jeep Jam.
Jasper Jeep Jam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jasper Jeep Jam. So what's that? Was that in February, April, March?
March.
I can't
Yeah, it's
remember. March.
like the middle of March. It seems like it
Yeah.
was maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago.
Yeah. So that's the last time I
Yeah.
saw you guys. Yeah.
Good grief,
Jasper.
man. I've been watching your social media, man. You have been all over the world.
Well,
You've been hitting it hard. Lots going on.
yeah, I try to post, keep people, updated because I get a lot of texts. It's like, where are you at? What you doing? We haven't heard from you. So um, I've been doing some other things than camping,
Yeah.
the good part of it. So
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So when you were here for Jasper Jeep Jam, did you actually get to do any camping while you were here, or just the event?
I did go camping with Casey and Paula from Black Truck Adventures.
Yeah.
We did. We went to Illinois Bayou a couple days. We spent 2 or 3 days down there, and then camped. Of course, at Jasper for those days. But
Yeah.
I tell you what, the Ozarks is amazing. I
Hmm.
mean, I love that place.
That's right. We're so lucky here in Arkansas to have the Ozarks and natural the Ouachitas. Two
Yeah,
national forests. It's just we're so lucky. Oh, got our
yeah.
first comment here.
Oh,
The
Daryl.
Adventure Crusader.
Daryl Green out in Florida. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, man. Thanks
Yep,
for watching.
I stayed with Daryl. I camped out in his driveway when I went
Yeah,
to save.
yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Wow, the comments are coming in quick.
Uh-oh.
Black Truck Adventures.
There's Casey and Paula. They'll
Yeah,
be on Storyteller Row on this coming week at Moore.
at the Moore
Congratulations.
Expo. Yep, yep. That's awesome. That's good stuff. And then guess what? We got Mamoo's Camp Kitchen.
Paul Murray. How you doing,
Yeah,
Paul?
yep. Y'all have to stick around. We got a big announcement for Mamoo's
Yes.
Camp Kitchen coming up.
Very
So
big
hang around,
announcement.
you guys. Let's see, Family Man Camping Adventures.
Jacob out in
Yeah,
Texas. Yeah.
right on.
Him and his son, his 10-year-old son, they do a lot of camping. In fact, my Dodge Ram is on his property in Texas. So
Oh wow,
I had to store it
wow.
there.
Yeah, that's crazy. You got stuff going on. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yep,
Oh,
Brian Waters.
Brian Waters, my buddy out in Fort Worth. Congratulations on 51,000 subscribers. Brian is
Oh wow.
he's he's hitting it hard, and he's got a big announcement too in about 2 weeks. So for those who are watching his channel, he's going to be making a big announcement.
Fantastic. Yep, doing good. Excited for more. Yep. Yep. Casey, Paula, and Jacob. Looking forward to more. Yep. It should be a good time. Five Angels Outdoor.
Mark from he's in Texas as well. Former Floridian, now he's in Texas. So he's doing all the Big Bend stuff out there now.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Been to Big Bend a couple times. That's a great area there.
I want to make it out there. I haven't been out there yet, but everybody else is posting videos.
Dude, we went the day after Christmas a couple of years ago, and we spent the week. We left like the 26th, the morning of the 26th, and we were down there, and the weather was absolutely fantastic. During
Some good
that time.
fishing there too.
Yeah, we didn't get to do any fishing, but that's something that's definitely on the list of things to do. So Brian says it's 54.
Oh, excuse me.
just so you know.
my my first collaboration ever on YouTube was with Brian Waters. I drove to Texas to do a collaboration with him.
Oh, and, nice.
It stormed and hailed and rained like you wouldn't believe. But
sounds like Jasper Jeep Jam.
Yeah. Can't wait to see and explore even more. Yeah, cool. Yeah. Well, thank you guys for all joining in, man. You guys.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate it.
Yep. Heck yeah. So let's see. Like I said, you've been busy. What have you got going on these days? You got some.
Well,
you bought some property. You've been working on that.
I went full time on the road December 22nd.
Yeah.
And
you retired and went full time.
Yeah, went full time, and it's a lot different than people think it is. You get to check out some new places and stuff, but after a while, you do need for me, I needed a base to come back to. So after some considerations and some folks telling me to come back to Tennessee, I was able to purchase. I was able to purchase some land, and
all right, good for you.
I purchased several acres, and so I've been doing that, clearing. In fact, where I'm staying now, I'm staying on a farm. A lot of people text me and say, "Where are you at? I haven't seen you. Haven't did this." So I'm actually staying on my buddy's farm and helping them with the crops and all that. And then in return, they have all the large equipment for the clearing of the land. And today we just got back. We cleared out some more trees, and then we got to destroy a abandoned house. We're going to dig a hole and burn it. And then once we get that all taken care of, I'm putting an off-grid cabin, actually, an off-grid cabin. I guess all the stuff from the affiliates and sponsors I could finally take out of storage and use, So
yeah, right on. That's cool.
Yeah, so that's been keeping me pretty busy. I had a new camper build. It's going to make its debut over at Moore, but it's still in Florida. I posted some of the pictures on socials, but it matches Sarge, the Tacoma, to the T.
I know.
And, even the wheels,
so good.
Even the wheels. And then, of course, I had my colonoscopy. That was the event in itself. The prep was crazy. And then, of course, trying to do the events, trying to go to Brushy Mountain, save. And then, I'm going to miss more, but, I don't know if I'll make Flagstaff because of the property. But that's about it.
Yeah. So what do you think about Overland of America? You think you'll make that one? That's
yes.
September.
I got an email, and I'll be on Storyteller Row. So
sweet.
I was selected to be on or I guess what do you call it? Content creator, Storyteller Row, or whatever it is.
Row, yeah.
Yeah. So,
all right. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah. Thanks to Robbie and Chris. Thank you for accepting me to do that. So I will be at Overland of America.
Okay. Fantastic. That's great news. Any other events?
Well, I wanted to go to Flagstaff and Pacific, Mountain West, but it all depends on where I stand on the home build, the grid.
Yeah.
How I'm getting that. So, but hopefully by the fall, I'll be able to resume normal. Well, anybody want to camp, they can camp in the land. I've got tons of acreage. So hell, they could come passing through. They're more than welcome to stop at the Semper Gumbie Ranch.
Hey, don't threaten me with a good time. I don't. We'll load up and head that way and bring all our rowdy friends over.
Yeah. But what is crappy?
Oh, I guess maybe he's referring to your colonoscopy.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I
put it off for 9 years or 10 years. And, I was having some stomach issues. And so I decided to do it, but everything was good. They found 2 polyps. They cut it out. And, I remember going in and they said, take 5 deep breaths. And I took my second deep breath and I woke, next thing I know, I woke up in the recovery room. So,
yeah.
And they did an endo too in the throat. So.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So, wow. They checked it all out. Well, that's good. Yeah. My doctor's been after me. So I suppose I'll have
Don't
to
wait, folks. If you're over 50, go get it done. It's not as bad to have to clear out in your campsite. Yes. You're more than welcome to come out. Maybe I'll have the Gumbie gathering there this year.
Yeah. Well, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't even know about the Gumbie gathering last year. I was like, man, that'd be fun. That'd be a fun thing.
Yeah, it was at the same time as Rendezvous in the Ozarks, so it was kind of, the same weekend, but it just happened to work that way.
Yeah. So, kind of switching up a little bit. Did you guys get any bad weather here, like the last week?
We did. Well, 3 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, we had a bunch of tornadoes. We had hail. We had 85-mile flooding. We had 15 inches of rain here in West Tennessee.
Good grief!
15 inches. It was crazy. We didn't lose power here at the house, but a tornado was about 20 miles or 20 minutes south of us and just hit that town. So, but we did have some bad weather. Last week we had some thunderstorms, but I would put Sarge underneath the lean-to or in the where all the equipment is. So I kind of thank Mr. Farmer Chris for letting me do that.
Oh yeah. That's a good place to keep the hail off and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had some crazy weather from Jasper Jeep Jam all the way to now. We had lots of rain, and I mean, I camped a few days with Cottywomple after Jasper Jeep Jam, and we had some sleet and a little bit of snow that one night, and I was like,
seems like Arkansas always gets it.
Yeah,
it's always on there. So.
But, and then Arlo was in Florida last weekend, and we had storms here. And apparently, a tornado went just north of here, and they texted me like at 3 o'clock in the morning and said, "Hey, is everything okay?" And I woke up and I was like,
"I'm still in the bed."
I had no idea.
Yeah.
So. Pretty sure I saw a crayon I ate in kindergarten come through.
They have bad weather in Louisiana too. It went as far as Louisiana and Florida.
Yeah. That one storm you're talking about, y'all got 15 inches. It looked like the line, the front of the clouds or whatever, it went from Texas all the way up into Canada. I mean, it was just a huge storm front that went all the way up there. Crazy.
Tornado sirens was like every day and every night out here.
Wow.
So
it
was crazy.
Makes it hard to camp in that kind of weather. Yeah. My favorite wife. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. Her Misty is staying here with us for a couple of days until they head up to Moore. So
okay.
Yeah,
awesome.
they were out at the gym and went by and got some food. So
cool.
I think we've got some dinner waiting for us. Hailing up a storm here right now. Wow.
You might want to keep that nice, beautiful red truck under some cover there, Paul.
That's right. When we we missed it more for sure. Hoping out west. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna miss a lot of you guys too, but I'll be there next year, and I got to get all this stuff taken care of. That's how I keep my weight off too.
Yeah. It looks like you've lost a little bit for sure.
Yeah. December. When I went for my appointment, I was about 2 208. And then I weighed just after my colonoscopy, I was like 179.
Oh, wow.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Congratulations. That's good.
yeah. These farmers are keeping me gainfully employed, man. It's some hard work here on the farm, man.
Yeah, that's right. That's
From
right.
sun up to
Sun
sundown,
up
and
to sundown for sure.
so if you want to lose a weight, go hang out with some farmers.
It's parked in the yard, hooked to the trailer. Yep. I think they're
Right.
packed and ready to go. Haven't had rain for 15 days. Wow. Yeah. Well, Ben, let's get into this. Let's
Okay.
tell us about yourself. You've got you retired. What was your career? And let's
Well,
tell us.
I first, I'm a career military guy. I
Okay.
spent in 1985 when I left Hawaii. I joined the Navy. Spent 5 years in the Navy, and then I got out because my mom got sick. She had breast cancer, so I moved back to Hawaii to help her out, take her to her treatments and stuff. And her cancer finally went into remission. And I tried to go back into the Navy, but they weren't taking prior enlisted guys. So walking in the strip mall, heading back to my car, I look over and the Coast Guard guys, it was a Friday, they were in aloha shirts, and feet up on the desk. And I said, man, I got to go check these guys out. And 3 weeks later, I was leaving for basic training for like the second time, and I entered the Coast Guard, where I spent a total of 21 years, search and
Oh,
rescue,
wow.
search and rescue, maritime law enforcement, both on C-130s and then at the H-65s, at the station in the Pacific, all over actually the United States. So my background was search and rescue, and then maritime law enforcement, and
Oh, wow.
yeah, for 21 years, did that. Retired in 2012. Bought some property, built a house in South Carolina, in Greenville, South Carolina, and I got hired on with the Greenville City Police Department, where I was started as a patrol officer, and was there for a couple years before being asked if I would take a position in the city that I lived at, which was only about 15 minutes from Greenville, called Travelers Rest. It was just at the foothills of between North Carolina and South Carolina. Went to that, made sergeant out there, and then retired on my age in 21.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I ended up moving to Tennessee, got out here, and then I ended up going out of retirement again. I think that was the second time, coming out of retirement and to go work for this Jackson State, where I got on with the police department out there. And I did that for a couple of years. And then I said, you know what? I think it's time to, this overlanding thing's got me hooked. So I think it's time to retire and hit the road full time.
So that reminds me, I'm going to jump in here real quick. The first time I met you, you remember giving me that?
Yes, I think it was at Overland of America.
It was. It sure was.
Yeah, that is a challenge coin, folks. And if you don't know what a challenge coin is, it's a symbol of respect and honor that people give to folks that are worth deserving. It's an old military. Military. It started in the military, and it was at the bars. If basically you go into a bar, we started with air crews. If someone throws down a challenge coin on the bar, and you can't pull yours out and throw it back down, you have to buy them around the beer or around the drinks. If they pull it out, or if they pull theirs out and slam it back down, then you have to buy a round for their crew. So that's where it all started, and it kind of formed into people giving for thought that they were honorable and respectful for that person. So
wow, that's really cool. That's really cool. Well, I thought that was neat. I had never met you before, and right out the get-go, that's what you gave me. I thought that was really neat, Ben. And just wanted to say thank you for your service.
Appreciate it.
That's an incredible career. And
I miss it, but you know
yeah.
what? Retirement life's good too, though.
Yeah. Retire from that and go work on a farm.
Yeah, I work harder now than I did when I was full time.
That's wild. That's wild.
Yeah.
So you're originally from Hawaii.
Yes.
Yep. And
Honolulu. Yep.
yeah.
On the island of Oahu.
Yeah. So growing up, did you camp much? Were you
Well,
into camping when you were a
yeah,
kid?
my dad and my uncles camped every weekend. They fished, and well, they took the boat out and laid their nets. We all of us would stay at camp, so we camped seemed like every weekend. But we didn't have the fancy gear we got now. I slept in a Coleman canvas tent with a you know a lantern you had to pump up and change the sock on it, and we didn't
Uh-huh.
have power stations and
Oh
all that
yeah.
good stuff. But every
Right.
weekend, so and then I would go hunting with them as well. So spend a lot of time outdoors. But
Yeah.
when you live on an island, you can only camp so many places.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, growing up, I camped so many nights in the bed of a truck with a tarp, the old pickup trucks, they had this stake pocket holes in the corners and
Right.
you could put sticks in there and put your
Put your
tarp
tarp
up.
up.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
Michael
So we got
Road.
Michael Rhodes, the resident Newton County weatherman.
Yeah, I remember
He
him.
has been super busy the last couple of weeks. Holy cow.
Yeah, he
He
actually he was working with you at setting up, right, at Jasper
yeah,
Jeep.
yep, yep. He's the right hand man of Kai and Lisa. He's
Yeah,
one of the great guys that helps them set their event up. So
he's pretty stout too. You don't want to mess with him.
oh man. Yeah, he's got a lot going on. If y'all see him out, ask him about where the hot spots are for Sasquatches. Yeah.
Uh,
So I remember sleeping on the ground with a sleeping bag as a kid. Yep. Yep.
yeah,
Did that
yeah.
plenty.
We didn't have no air mattresses and the lost horizons and the climates and all that stuff. It was tough.
Yep. So uh what sparked your interest getting into overlanding, into the modern day camping, what we're doing nowadays? What
Well,
was what
it was.
draws what drew you to that?
Well, I started off in a pop-up camper
Okay.
back when I first started doing it, solo and going pop-up camper, and then I bought a bigger camper, which was like
Mhm.
21 footer, and it was just kind of a pain to tow that thing around, and I
Yep.
used to watch videos, guys like Bill and Dev from Cottywopple when they had their very first Jeep, and I was like, man, that is so cool, guys like Matt, Kara from um, and all those. And I was like, man, I need to do that. So I sold all the campers. And then I started doing it with I built the Ram and started, doing that. And, for me, it was the outdoors and disperse. It's like when you get there and set up camp, it's just the feeling of you being one with nature and the beauty out there. And, those things you can't pay for. That's the things in life that are free. And you get to enjoy that sitting near a river or cooking and hanging out with friends in front of a campfire. And I think
Right.
as we get older, I come to appreciate that a little bit more.
Yeah.
I would rather sit around a campfire than go out and sleep in a hotel room. And it's just peaceful, and it does something, I guess, to your soul. You do a lot
Yeah.
of soul searching. And me being full time on the road, I did a lot of soul searching with me and Hoku, just kind of hanging out, out of nowhere. And, so that's what drew me to it. And the community, the people were always eager to help. I never met Bill and, from Cottywopple before, Save a couple years ago. And he gave me his phone number because I had a couple questions, and, you know, um, ended up becoming, really, we could become friends and be camping and all that stuff. So um, that's one thing I love about the Overland community. Paula and Casey, they look up after me too a lot. So it's a big family, and
Yeah. Yeah.
that's what drew me to the. It's an expensive hobby,
It
but it
is.
doesn't
Yeah.
have to be expensive. You can make it as expensive as you want, but I think if you're with good people, um, and have a really good attitude. I mean, you're going to, no matter where you camp, it's going to be a great time.
I agree. It's really hard to beat really hard to beat that experience. Camping, the campfire time, near water, moving water preferably. B-Bomb's Big Adventure.
B-bomb. When I stayed at the Army base, Redstone in Huntsville, and B-bomb Ben over there came and checked on me because he knew I was at that campground. So thank you, Ben, and came out and hang out and talk for a little bit. In fact, I think he came twice, 2 days.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, but it's the community, I think, and everyone's eager to help, and everyone's, and I look at it from what I learn. I try to teach other people that are starting, because you need to share the love and pass that information, and make it fun for everyone, and but yeah, that's
nice.
really good.
Yeah. So you mentioned your dog. Where's your dog at these days?
She's in the camper in the driveway.
Yeah.
She's in there right now, and I'll let her out and we'll play around here on the farm and stuff. But wherever I go, I'll throw her in the back of I seat deleted my Tacoma, so she rides in the back. And then I got another dog in the house here, Chris's dog. So, and then there's dogs everywhere. I mean, it's like a petting zoo out here.
Nice.
And a cat. I don't know where the cat went, Charlie. So, but Hoku, she adjusting well, on the road. I think she looks at the camper as her kennel, and when I come to visit her, I've got to, be in there with her. But she's well. She's doing well.
Good. Yeah, I love watching channels where you see the interaction with their dogs or the pets. Even like Chris Carroll, he takes a shop cat with him.
Shop cat.
I mean, that's just fun. That's just fun. Yeah.
So, and speaking of Chris Carroll, I camped in the Ozarks one time on the river, and he came by and to check on me too. So, folks, Overlanding family it is amazing. What's Paul Murray?
Paul Murray, the Overlanding family is amazing. Been part of the outdoor and hunting groups, but nothing like Overlanders.
Yeah, Paul is part of our. He became him and his son Peyton. I met his son Peyton at Overland of America, actually, and he was camping by himself. He set up, and we kind of told him, "Come on over," and he's become a part of the Overland family now, or Peyton, and then Paul. He cooked out a bunch of shrimp for us at Jasper Jeep Jam. I've never had so much shrimp in my life, but I agree totally. And then hanging out with you guys, was cool too.
I'm telling you, it's some of the best times ever. So while we're on the subject, we're talking about Paul so much here. Let's just go ahead and get our big announcement out of the way. What do you say?
Okay.
So typically on this show, when we have a guest, what we do is we ask, what's your favorite camp meal, right?
Yes.
And typically it's what do you prefer? What do you like to, if you're going to get out all your kitchen gear and camp and cook, and what's your favorite go-to for that?
Well, I like to cook. I like a good steak. I like a good steak and some asparagus. But when I tried Mamu's Camp Kitchen, I mean, it was like wow. And I had a chance to meet Paul and hang out with him and his son, and we become pretty good friends. And so I supplement in between meals with Mamu's Camp Kitchen.
I do too.
It's the best tasting. I mean, hands down. And if anybody's watching, and if you don't believe me, I'll pay. You buy it and you don't like it, I'll reimburse you. Because this is the best thing.
I'm telling you, it makes it so easy now. I don't even have to even think about meal planning. I can just grab one of those and know that I'm going to eat well. So
the blend of the Bayou is my favorite, and I put it on garlic bread. I put it on there with it, and
that's so good.
Yeah.
So the big announcement. Go ahead. Yeah, tell us about it.
Well, Mamu's Camp Kitchen is going to be at the Moore Expo this weekend, and Paul Murray is the behind Mama's Camp Kitchen, and he is coming up with a chicken and sausage gumbo.
Yes.
I mean, this is the newest flavor, and it's amazing. He will be having samples. He'll be inside of the expo indoors, and you need to stop by and taste. He'll have samples out there, and he has different flavors as well as the ice cream sandwiches and stuff. But he had hit it out of the park with this gumbo.
I'm telling you, it is so good. All of it, even like the breakfast scramble. I just, I'll take some tortillas, I'll make that up, and then I'll spoon it out on a tortilla and put some hot sauce on it.
Oh, you can feed like 2 people off one of these bags.
Easy. Yep. For sure.
But this one's got smoked sausage and roasted chicken, along with Creole seasoning, deliver long simmered flavor to this Louisiana favorite. So, and it's 32 grams of
32
protein.
Grams of protein.
Well.
Right.
And only 230 calories. So, Paul, these are awesome. So stop by the Mama's Camp Kitchen booth, y'all, and get yourself some. And in fact, get you a couple.
Yeah. Get you one of each, one of all of them. You can't go wrong.
Paul has been a really good supporter of the Semper Gumbie channel, and
he's been great to us.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to meet him at last year's board because he said I was always busy talking with people when he came by. But we finally touched bases, and we went camping together and stuff, and it was awesome. I'm glad, So that's what I eat besides regular food, and ever since I changed my diet, I've been cutting back on the breakfast. I used to love sausage and bacon and eggs every morning, but I've cut back to some yogurt, some fruit, and all that as well.
Right on. Yep. Can't wait to try it. Yep, for sure. I'm going to eat mangoes this weekend doing the Florida Adventure Trail. That'd be fun. Sounds amazing. All of the meals are great. That's a fact.
Yeah, Paul sent a bunch of breakfast scramble for the Gumbie gathering and we fed 21 people with breakfast scrambles and tortillas that morning. Actually, Black Truck and I and Adventures cooked up a meal for the whole gathering, and everybody loved the breakfast scramble. So
fantastic. Yep. Justin Bieber, that's all he's saying. So Paul, are you going to be at Overland of America? Have to let us know in the comments. Hope so. Hope to see you there. What about anybody else going to be there? Overland of America or More Expo?
That is an awesome event, and I swear to God, for the first year, I had a blast. I mean, it's
that was so much fun.
Yeah.
So Paul says yes, he's going to be there. That's awesome.
Chris and Robbie did a great job.
Yep. That was a great breakfast. Right on. So, you've got 2 trucks and a trailer. Right. So tell us explain your setups a little bit. You started out with the Ram, right?
The Ram. Yep. The Ram is a Ram 1500. I did a lift, a 3.5-inch lift on there, did some larger wheels. And at that point I was picked up with Tour Pro. So it has a Tour Pro rack system, mid rack. And then I put a Overland Vehicle Systems OVS tent on there, and the normal storage and all that other stuff, and a deck system. And I used that for the first year and a half of my overlanding adventures. And it's a 2019. It's still got only 50,000 miles. And I was watching everybody with their Jeeps and their Toyotas, and the Ram was a great truck, but it's a full-size truck. And the Ozarks are pretty tight sometimes. There's some tight spots. And now if I was out west like Moab or New Mexico or out in Texas, which the Ram did fine out there when I went across a couple years ago on a 14-day trip. But I needed something that I wanted smaller and compact and was lighter. So I decided to I had a van. I was doing van life stuff, and that van kept
Okay.
breaking and breaking
See,
and breaking.
I didn't know you had a van. Okay.
Yeah, and it kept breaking down. My insurance company said, we're not paying for towing no more. That's how bad. It was a Ram ProMaster. So I sold
Oh,
that,
wow.
and I was going to do the van life thing with that, and had built it up a little bit. There was a bed in there, platform, and all that stuff. So I decided to go with the Tacoma because, it was either Jeep or Tacoma, and
Yeah.
it seems like everybody in the overlanding community has, a smaller truck or a mid-size and a Jeep. Um, so I went with the Tacoma. I bought a Tacoma, and I found it in Kentucky. It was a 2019 with just 2,000 miles.
Oh, wow.
So I picked it up, had it shipped out here, and as soon as I got it, I just went crazy on it. You know, I was on the way home and I stopped to get the windows tinted.
Yeah.
Put a lift kit on there. Went with 16s with a little bit taller sidewall.
Okay.
Put a Icon Pro 3 suspension on there, which is a really comfortable suspension. Cali Rays picked me up and sent me the rack system on that. Ran that for a little bit, and then Inspired Overland did the rooftop tent, sent me a carbon fiber rooftop tent for it. And then Novesight came aboard, and they did all the lighting on that vehicle along with Cali Rays. And then, of course, Blue Eddy and Devos, so we built the truck up. I think I did it in like a month and a half. They just went hog wild on that thing, and
It seemed like it was overnight.
yeah. Casey and Paula from Black Truck Adventures drove from Texas to help me set that up. So they drove 8 hours to help me build Sarge. I named it Sarge because of the Army green on there. And I ran the Cali Rays rack system for a little bit, and then when I went full time, I needed something to be secured in the back of my bed. So that's why I went with the OVS cap on there, along with, I still have a lot of Cali Rays stuff. I have, Cali Rays front bumper. I have the Cali Rays roof rack on there, the lighting. And then, of course, it has a winch. I've got a 12K winch on there. It was a little bit overkill, but it was on sale during Christmas. So I said, what the heck?
Yeah,
but
no, it's I don't know. I think a 12,000-pound winch is a good size. I don't think that's over.
So, and I haven't got stuck yet with Sarge. So,
yeah,
wherever we go, I had to put him in 4-wheel drive a couple times, but it has everything on it. It has crawl control, lockers, and all that stuff. So, I wasn't used to that stuff with my Ram. So it handles better too, the suspension, and then my trailer, my camper, it's a tiny camper. I teamed up with Tiny Camper Company last year or a year and a half ago, and they built me this rugged Rhino, and it was great for weekenders and stuff. But I realized that when I went full time on the road, I needed more room. Laying down and putting on your pants, or trying to use the bathroom and ducking your head at full time kind of took its toll. So I teamed up with them again, and Joe and the guys from Tiny Camper built a what they call a Kong pop-up, which is a rooftop tent that's integrated on the top of that camper, so you can actually sleep access from the top. Yeah.
So is it straight up, or is it like a wedge up?
It's a wedge.
Okay.
So it's a lot of room, and I could put a platform up there and sleep up there as well. So so
Benji,
now it is out.
Benji, you're a little bit late. We've already talked about the favorite camp meal.
Mamu's Camp Kitchen Meal, Blend of the Bayou, and the new chicken sausage gumbo.
Yeah. So Midwest Adventure Outfitters is going to be at Moore this weekend, so make sure you go by and ask for Saskatchewan Steve.
And Benji, I needed some shoot. I needed some fuel cans, and I needed some extra
Some
fuel,
Rotopacks.
the rotor packs. Yeah. And Benji was nice enough to had some in the shop and brought it to Jasper Jeep Jam for me. So thank you, Benji. Thanks for hooking me up with those. Appreciate it.
He's nice like that. Yeah.
Yeah. He kept right next to me. So it was fun being a neighbor to him at Jasper Jeep Jam.
Yeah. Oh, he's always a hoot. He's always a hoot for sure. Yeah. I've shared many campfire with Benji. Yeah. High fives.
High fives.
Yeah. So you're going to get your I saw the on the trailer, I saw the video of them doing the wrap on it.
Well, and I've got that. The Tiny Camper didn't want to send me a video of the what it looked like because they wanted to be a surprise. But Carlos from Inciarte 4x4, he was getting his truck wrap. In fact, he's making his debut on his truck at Moore. And my camper was in getting wrapped at the same time. So he sent me a video. And the video didn't have the fenders on and all that stuff. But they did the graphic guys did an absolutely incredible job. They matched it the same color as Sarge with the topo design, with the Semper Gumbie logos in green. And they powder coated my wheels to match Sarge's wheels.
That was really cool. I mean, I think it turned out fantastic. I can't wait to see it in person.
Yeah,
that's going to be so cool.
I'm pretty stoked, and the guys at Tiny Camper did an exceptional job. I wanted to bring it out to more, but I am running out of time because it's still in Florida, and it's going to be tight. It's going to be tight.
Yeah,
but I'll have it at the next one. I'll definitely have it at Overland of America, but. I'm going to do a full video on that as well when I get it up here.
Yeah. Bradley Lowry. What's up?
Brad. What's up, Brad?
Hey, buddy. Appreciate you watching.
Yeah.
So you got a lot on your plate right now, and you've got you I'm sure you've got goals or trips in mind. What would be like a goal trip? Or
I want to head out west.
Yeah.
I want to head out west. I want to go out to south of Moab, the LaSalle, that area, just because they have a lot of BLM land, dispersed camping there, the shelf out there. And then of course, back to the Grand Tetons, I got to see it. I just never camped there 2 years ago. But that's one of my goals is to get back out. I did the Colorado thing. Colorado's beautiful in the fall, but when I went in July, it was like I was at Colorado Springs. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, Colorado Springs, and it was like I went from 106-degree weather in Texas, and when I got to Colorado, it was 39, 40 degrees at night. I didn't have no warm gear. No, I didn't have. I had shorts, I had a T-shirt, and I didn't even have a blanket. I had light sleeping bag, and I was cold. I was sleeping in the back of my truck, my Ram.
Man, the first time we went to Colorado, we froze to death. It was crazy how it's just not here in Arkansas. It's hot and humid in the summertime, and you don't realize, until you get.
I met some great people along the way at the campgrounds. I mean, they became subscribers, and they keep in touch. And I was just blown away with the people I met on that 14-day trip. So,
wow.
But Tetons and Utah. So whoever wants to go, let me know. We'll go.
Get the calendar out and scratch out a date. Yeah.
We'll go after Overland of America.
Yeah. Hey, I want to take this opportunity to recognize somebody that has been supporters of us and Semper Gumbie as well for quite some time. Shop Overland Apparel.
Hey.
Yeah. We love Jared and Kayla to death. They've been fantastic. And one of the things that we've kind of floated different design ideas, and you guys have seen our logo, but we haven't released merch yet for the Overland podcast until now. It's available this weekend at More Expo. I'm
Oh
just going to
yeah.
kind of run
Ooh,
through
look at that.
here.
No pros,
No,
just
no
bros.
pros, just bros. Here you go, people. There's your sticker. Yep, yep. Hoodies, long sleeve tees, all the stuff. So go by and check out. Tell Jared that we said hey and all that, and
You can't miss
and
him because as soon as you walk in, he's going to be there on the left-hand side, the biggest, t-shirt, and gear and merch table you will see. So
yeah,
Kayla will probably be working with him and all the other folks. So
yeah,
stop by.
Jared. Yeah, he's been there all week so far. I mean, I think he got there Sunday or Monday or something, and he's over all of the signage now.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Awesome.
he's handling all that. So you got your merch there, right? You
Yes.
can get
Actually,
Semper Gumbie merch there.
right after Jasper Jeep Jam, we kind of tossed around ideas, and we now have Semper Gumbie merch on Overland Apparel. So check it out, get your gear, t-shirts, and all that stuff in. So looking forward. I've never had anybody carry my merch, so
Yep,
I guess things are going the right way.
yep, that's for sure. That's for sure. Ray Richard. Yeah, Richard's one of those hiking guys. He's been on
Okay.
hiking trips with Joey. So
How you doing,
I don't
Richard?
know.
Thanks for joining in.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know what's with these guys in this hiking business. I'm too fat for that nonsense.
Oh, you got to ask Feral Joe that.
Yeah, right. Feral Joe. That's right. That's right. So let's see. Wow. I think I've just about covered all my notes here.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Uh
Yeah, you
yeah.
covered my notes too. So
Yeah. Yeah. Is there
but
anything else you want to talk about? Share with everybody?
um
Anything you got?
yeah, I mean, the my old camper is going away. Somebody bought it. I don't want to say who bought it. They're probably in here, and he will be making that announcement on his channel. Um,
Nice.
he's going to switch it up. He's going, I don't want to give too much away, but it's going to a new home,
Okay.
to somebody that's going to take care of stuff. And but the old camper's going away, and then Hoku and I are getting a new kennel. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Right on.
so um, I'm going to continue working here until I get my land cleared, and build my off-grid cabin, at least make it livable, self-sustaining. Like I said, if you guys are passing through Tennessee, it's got a bunch of spaces and land. Come by, and you can disperse camp if you want. It is in West Tennessee, so I'm slowly working on that, and I'm
That's
looking
actually
forward to
not
it.
too far from here.
Yeah, it's for you would be probably 5 hours,
4 or
from
5 hours.
Arkansas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, 4.5, 5 hours, if that. And then you can segue up to Land Between the Lakes after, stopping in West Tennessee, and
Oh,
then
that
head up
sounds
to,
horrible.
Land Between the Lakes and do some camping up there. And I've got
I've
some
never I've never camped there. It's certainly on the
never.
list.
Yeah,
Never have.
it's awesome. It's a great place. And then I've got a buddy that has 350 acres up a little bit south of Nashville, and in the middle of nowhere, camp out there. So that's what I've got going on right now. People have been emailing me and texting me. I'm not sick. I'm not sick, and I'm not doing some crazy weight loss drugs or anything like that. And I've just
You're
been
just working
gainfully,
your tail end
yeah,
off.
yeah, just working and putting some sweat equity into my property, along
Yeah.
with helping out, Farmer Chris out here with his farm, and hanging out with good people. So, um,
Yeah.
I will be back out camping again. Hopefully after the hot months go by. But I'll be out. I'll be back, and we'll be back with the new Semper Gumbie camper, and we'll hit it hard and start heading back out to the Ozarks again and making our way
Heck yeah.
west. I think
We're
Bill from
looking forward to
Cottywapple, they're in Utah or coming back from Utah, but they're going to head out west again. So maybe I'll jump in with Bill and Deb or whoever heads that way.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Yeah, of course they're coming to town. It's calling for rain, so
Yeah, I saw that.
wouldn't expect that.
They got a brand new camper too, so
I
I saw it
know.
on the snow shows.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm kind of bummed. I'm not able to go to more this year, so I was kind of
Okay.
bummed. I'm not going to get to see their trailer either. So it is
Well,
what it
I'm
is. You
sure
can't
there'll be
make
a
it.
bunch of videos. So
Right,
both
right.
of us aren't going to more.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, this is the first one I haven't gone to. It's the first one Joey hasn't been able to go to.
Yeah.
Arlen and Misty, like I said, Misty's staying here with us for a couple of days before they head up. Lady Overlander Radio is going to have the Ladies Overland Lounge there. So they'll be doing classes, but I got dad
Awesome.
duties that keep me here at home, and
Yeah.
I've got my truck to work on. I'm switching up the setup.
Yeah.
I've been
And
wanting
I
to.
remember you were saying something about that.
Yeah, I've been running. I started off the build with a half rack from Rhino Rack, and the last, maybe year, I've really kind of talked about going with like a cap, like what you've got now, or
Yeah.
just a full height rack. And I was talking to my buddy TJ over in Oklahoma. He's kind of one of the crew from the Okie Overland group,
Okay.
and he had a full height OVS rack, and he was kind of looking to downsize. So we just did like an old school swap. We just did a swaparoo, and
Yeah.
so it's been a fun process. Still trying to get everything mounted
Right.
and figure everything out. So anyway.
Awesome.
Well, folks, I think we've just about reached the end of our show here. Appreciate everyone watching, listening, and for all the comments. Ben, how can people follow you on social media and YouTube? How can they?
Okay. Well, on YouTube, they can go to Semper Gumbie, and it's spelled
Okay.
Gumbie.
Okay.
On Instagram, it's Semper_Gumbie, and then on Facebook, it's the Semper Gumbie channel, or that links to my real name on there. So it's just but. Yeah, YouTube and Instagram is probably the best way to reach me. I answer those pretty cool, on a daily basis. I post on Instagram almost on a daily basis. So
yeah.
And then of course our Patreon page. We've got a lot of members now, and they all came aboard. And without them, I wouldn't be able to, enjoy some stuff. So they're supporting the channel that way as well.
Nice, very nice. All right. Well, folks, I just want to give you a heads up. Next week, we have another great show. Special guest is Mothy Off-Road, Mothy Off-Road. If you haven't heard of them, they're a new company out near Oklahoma City. They have a line of roof rack mounted solar panels. It's what I'm running, the SR400. It's a 400 watt solar panel system. So they'll be on to talk about their products. If you're at More Expo and you're looking for some sort of solar setup, go by and see them. They'll be in booth 209. But Ben, I really wanted to let you know I appreciate you coming on the show tonight and sharing your life with us, and just really enjoyed the talk. And like Joey says, he always likes to say, live a life better than you've ever dreamed of. Until then, watch out for number 1. Don't step in number 2. We out. Good night, everybody.
Have a good night. Thank you.
You too.